possible.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Vortex Racing League, folks. I am your host, Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High, taking you from green to checkered flag here tonight. We're racing at the Red Bull Ring. Drivers getting ready and situated for this sprint qualifying right now. And Grunch Munch and a lot of the other drivers on their outlap, well, maybe not Grunch Munch anymore. Sinead out there in the Ferrari. Let's take a look at the championship standings and the points as well. For the calendar, we've been to Montreal this week. We're at Austria, actually. We've been to Australia, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Miami, Italy, Spain, and Canada. Next up will be Great Britain, then Belgium, Netherlands, Mexico, Las Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. We'll round it out. In the lead, it's Alpine, 235. Next up, it's Red Bull with 137. Aston Martin with 122. Haas with 109. Kick Sauber with 66. McLaren with 66 as well. In the driver's standings, it's Reese VRL right next to Papa Green with 121 to 113. Bookie with 99. Manila Man, Muffin Brand, Maverick, McSpeed, Detains, It's Domain, and Ian Mack rounding out your top 10. It's still awfully close in the backfield, that's for sure. Papa Green sets a new provisional pole time, a 1:04. That will be the new time set for the drivers to have to contend with right now. Here at the Red Bull Ring, we have a track length of 2.6 miles, or roughly 4.3 kilometers. It was founded in 1969. It's been the current layout since 2022. We're located in Spielberg, Austria, of course, located in the Alps. We have 10 corners, 3 to the left, 7 to the right, with 313 feet of elevation change, or 65 meters. Sinead now gets to the line. Is it any improvement? A 1:07.976 for the man in crimson. FCN for life on their outlap. Apple CM Detains. CT Boy, Moza Army, Billy Ho, SD Buki yet to set their laps, and a couple drivers taking the last couple of minutes of qualifying to just rest up a little bit. A little puff of smoke there for FCN for life on this outlap coming through the final corner. On board up the 10% to 14% incline up the hill at Remus, down towards the following corner. This should be Schloss Gold. Turn number 4. Then we go down in towards Roush and then Worth. Coming out of Roush and Worth. The following corner is quite tricky, and you have the gravel trap there to punish you coming through the kink. And then down the hill we plummet into the following two corners. This is all about full commitment and full bravery there. FCN for life, a little bit higher than P10. It will be ninth for him with a 109.853. Bear retiring from the session. Grunch Munch retiring from the session. Now we're looking at Salse. And they're on the medium compound right now. Let's check out what the drivers are running. Sauce for the top three, and then Salse and Maverick for Christ there on the mediums, and then everybody else onto the softs except for CT Boy and SD Buki. That'll be a pit stop call for Salse. Head over to its domain on their flyer now. Let's go on board and see how Domain chalks up to the rest of the field. Definitely using the overtaking mode and applying the ERS coming out of turn one. Nicky Lauda corner. Up the hill and towards three. It's a little bit of a lockup and a little bit too deep for Domain. He gets on the loud pedal and spins it around. That's definitely not what he needed to do on this occasion. GSR is able to throw down with the best of them a 105.894. On that previous lap. And will it be any improvement here on this one, though? Trying to see, it is 2/10 improvement through the first sector. What about through the second? It's looking good and clean coming through the final two corners. And that is full commitment mounted up the curb. 3/10 back now, 105.573. He was able to find nearly 4/10 on that last lap. Even on old soft compound tires, he's able to stitch one together, so not too bad for the man in green. The Kick Sauber showing us what he's made out of. Seven-tenths back, Manila Man finds out what P2 feels like with just a minute and 45 remaining in this session. He'll be on the front row alongside Papa Green. That was a very good lap he was able to stitch together, but just outside of those 104s. Reese VRL now on a flyer. The man in pink needs to get a lap done unless he wants to start from the back. His teammate is up at the front. That'll be Papa Green. Took me a second to find him. Now Reese coming through the first sector. Let's look at the time in the top right hand corner. Is it any better than his last? It will be, but he's got yellow flags waving. He's on a valid lap for now. Carlos Sainz set this best lap time around here back in the 2021 car, if I'm not mistaken. Reese goes 2/10 back from Papa Green during the last lap of qualifying, but Billy Ho, he steals away pole position with a 104.578. Throws Papa Green a little run for his money. 1/10 back, that's nearly as fast as a blink of an eye. Reese VRL in third, Manilman in fourth, GRS in fifth. Let's see if anybody else is out there still running. Sauce not on a hot one. McSpeed coming into the pit. CT Boy potentially on a flyer. And CT Boy, 1.6 seconds back, won't be good enough at this stage for anything better than P10. Qualifying concluded. We're just going to wrap up this session now. Over to Billy Ho. Who's going into the garage. This will be the end of the sprint qualifying. And then, of course, we will have the race qualifying session coming up in just a few moments after the qualifying. Billy Ho leads us for P1. Behind will be Papa Green in P2, Reese VRL in third, Manila Man in fourth, GRS in fifth, Sauce in sixth, It's Bear, Apple CM, SD Buki, CT Boy, Maverick for Christ, McSpeed, Detains, Moza Army, It's Dumaine, FCN for Life, Sinead, Said Sue, Grunch Munch, and Ian Mack all running in this session. Waiting for the drivers to get gridded up officially, and then we'll be ready to rumble, folks. It'll be a short sprint race around Austria, and then we'll go back to qualifying, and then we'll have our official race right after that. And we're gonna go ahead and start off with our formation lap, folks. And a couple drivers not taking to the formation lap here. Let's talk to the Alpine wall very quickly. Boys, 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 it was almost an Alpine lockout.
Reese is just going to do something, so it's just me here right now.
Ah, okay. How do you feel about starting P2?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I wasn't really pushing it during sprint quali, but just try to jump him on the start, see what happens.
Sounds good, brother. Good luck, guys.
Yep, thank you.
That was the Alpine boys. We just heard from Papa Green there. And a little bit from Reese, as he's now gridded up. Getting the final few drivers at the back of the pack now. And waiting the official red lights, and when they go out, we'll go green flag racing. And it's green, green, green here in Austria, folks. It's a poor start for Reese VRL. Cars are bumping and banging their way further back to Aston Martins go off the track at turn 1 and rejoin are a bit crazy to say the least. The gap at the front is closing down. Reese somehow managed to climb his way back up into P3. Billy Ho loses P1 to Papa Green. He said he was going to be on the attack early. He sure is, but Ho is challenging back quick, fast, in a hurry. Coming through Schlossgold, it'll be single file line though between all of the drivers. Let's go over to CT Boys battle with Detains, because Detains is throwing his elbows out at CT in the Duke 26 Oracle Red Bull. Positions gained and lost there on the left-hand side of your screen adjacent to the tower. Looked like a little bit of a battle and a spin there from Grunch Munch. Oh no. Oh man. And Grunch Munch still unable to recover at turn 1. Gets it spun around the right way, and Reese is trying to go for a move on Billy Ho. But Ho says no this time around. Reese still closes down the gap on the cars ahead. There goes Apple CM off, rejoins the racetrack just past Worth before Rent, and that's not really the place he wants to be right now. Now the chase, the run, the send at turn 3. It looks like it's going to slow down Papa Green's charge going into Schlossgold. Leaves him vulnerable to Reese behind. Here's the onboard halo cam. Here's another look going into Schlossgold from Billy Ho onto Papa Green. Now it's going to be availability for Reese VRL, but Reese goes wheel to wheel, toe to toe, gets on the loud pedal, loops around, and will lose touch with Billy O in that battle up ahead. He's going to rejoin the track safely and calmly as possible. but it will be P9 for him, unfortunately. But Reese had some significant pace for this sprint qualifying. See if he can pick up a couple more pieces here or there. Has the DRS coming out of 1, the run down towards 2 looks good up the hill into the incline of Remus. The McLaren gets on the loud pedal early and parks it on the apex though, and Reese has some front nose damage from running into the back of that McLaren. Yellow flag is out. I believe that's for Moza Army. Yes, it is for Moza Army, who is spun out right now. Reese able to get by McSpeed in the battle for 10th and 9th place. And it looks like Ian Mack and It's Bear. It's Dumaine loops it around again. Loses more positions on the board there. Now we'll check in with driver in 5th place, SD Buki, because he's trying to get around GSR Riles. And able to do so through turn 2, up the hill towards turn 3. But he tried to park it on the apex with the kick salver of GSR. Looks like he might be able to retort the charge. The Red Bull up ahead is going to be driven by Manila Man. Oh, Billy O loses the position of 1st to Papa Green. It looked like actually he was going for an overtake at turn 5, but just couldn't quite get it to stick, and the tower just reverted itself back to the way things were. Back over to GSR Riles and SD Buki now. Three-way battle, or we like to call this a menage a trois sometimes. Buki, Manila Man separated by 0.3 of a second. The run up the hill towards Remus is a very good place to overtake and will be a continued hot spot just like it is right now. And the Aramco badged car goes through on the Oracle one and pulls out a 0.6 gap. Let's check back in with the leaders as they're separated by half a second on the racetrack. Billy Ho can't find the daylight to get by Papa Green just yet, but he's staying within spitting and striking distance as we just approach the halfway point. Oh, McSpeed is off at Roush, it looks like. And that's not good for McSpeed as he was battling inside the top 10 for quite some time there. Oh, and he's off again, no. All right, no more commentary curse here. Let's go over to Reese and see him get some moves done. This time it'll be on detains in the Mercedes. Now we're expecting the drivers to be able to make it the full 12 laps without needing a pit stop. At least not a mandatory pit stop. Should they need one for other reasons, that will be left up to them. GSR gets by Manila Man in the battle for the lead. Reese goes off extremely wide at turn 1, but still gets the helping hand of the drag reduction system. The Red Bull and the Kick Sauber are going to go wheel to wheel, and they're going to touch a little bit. That forces Manila Man to try to cover off the inside line, but that's Reese VRL charging up the pack right now, who's not going to be too content with getting squeezed like that. Now they mount the curve over Schlossgold. There's Detains getting into the mix as well. That's how long the side-by-side battle has continued, and Reese sight unseen smacks Detain into oblivion. And that will be the end of that one. Battle for the lead only has 3 laps left to conclude itself, and I'm honestly surprised that we didn't see a safety car pulled out, but here goes the move from the Haas on the Alpine. Goes a little too deep at turn 3. That allows the purple and blue car to snap right back. It'll be Billy Ho losing out at Remus. Now the run into Schlossgold, and will be the pink and blue leading us again. Papa Green made the attack at lap 1, and he really hasn't relented since. Detains in 7th place, battling with CT Boy in 6th place. Both drivers in the Red Bulls gonna get some good points tonight. Reese VRL somehow still out there on track despite all that damage that he has gotten. Not really sure how that car is still on track. Cautions in Sector 1 and in Sector 3. That might be caused by mixed speed, unfortunately. Billy Ho continues to close down that gap on Papa Green out in front. Here's the wing shot of Billy Ho and Papa Green's battle. With just 2 laps left to go in this sprint shootout, it's still anybody's ball game for the Hall of Points tonight. Gap opens up to around 0.8 of a second. It's not looking good for your man Billy Ho driving the American Haas. Whoa, there is a big run down into Schlossgold, and Papa Green was just standing still there almost. I wonder what's going on. That was an absolutely blindsided overtake there. Green tried to cover off the inside line, but Billy Ho just forced his way around the outside the long way around. Papa Green's got something up his sleeve cooking right now, but it's on like Donkey Kong coming through renting the Red Bull Mobile. There he is to the inside line, going up the hill in towards 1. Nicky Lauda curve. It will be an off though from Papa Green, but it'll allow him the DRS and the run down towards Remus. Billy Ho has 68% of his tires left. Papa Green only has 46% on the front. He's obviously used much more to stay out in the lead of this race. Down in towards Slosh Gold, it will still be the Haas in front. Another lockup, a big wiggle from Papa Green as he gets on the throttle pedal. Now it will be lap 12 out of 12. Bits of carbon fiber are flying off as nose to tail touch here, coming through the corners of Worth and now into Rint. This is the final lap, folks. This is gonna be it. Billy Ho in the lead. Now only when it matters most will take the win away, but will it be an official win as their 35 thousandths separating the two drivers at the end of the night? SD Buki in third, 6/10 away from that epic battle. GSR Riles in fourth, CT Boy in fifth, Manila Man in sixth, Detains in seventh, Ian Mack in eighth, Sinead in ninth, It's Bear in 10th. What a showdown going into the final couple of laps, and the last lap showdown between the leaders was absolutely epic, to say the least. We're going to spend a few minutes to get the session wrapped up and closed, and we'll get the official results posted in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Billy Ho takes P1 in front of Papa Green in second, SD Buki in third, GSR Riles in fourth, CT Boy, Manila Man Detains, Ian Mack, Sinead, and Reese round out the top 10 actually. It's Bear, Maverick for Christ, Sauce, Apple CM, Grunch Munch, FCN for Life, It's Dumaine, Said Sue, Moza Army, and McSpeed will round out the 20 drivers here tonight. Just getting ready for the qualifying session now. The drivers will get loaded up and ready to go in just a few moments. I did check in with the Haas wall, and it looks like we're not able to get the race winner available. Billy Ho was not available from the Haas wall. Now the drivers getting ready for their qualifying run. SDN for Life, Maverick for Christ, It's Bear, CT Boy, GSR, all running so far. Outlaps right now underway, so we can talk a little bit about the history of the A1 ring, or the Red Bull ring as we now know it. It was initially built in 1969. Nice. It was called the Austrian, the Austria circuit. It hosted its first Formula One race in 1970. In 1997, the track was reconfigured into a shorter layout, then called the A1 ring, named after its sponsor. After a period of dormancy, Red Bull purchased the track in 2004, revamped it extensively, and reopened it in 2011 under its current name. The Red Bull Ring is one of the shortest tracks in Formula One, but still features a dramatic elevation change with its maximum incline of 12 degrees into turn 3, Remus. It's particularly steep and challenging. The current F1 lap record of 102.939 is held by Carlos Sainz in the 2020 McLaren. In recent years, the FIA has introduced gravel strips behind the exit curbs at turn 9 and 10 to deter drivers from abusing the verge of lap time gains. Ian Mack disqualified from the session for parking at a dangerous location, it would seem. Lap times trickling in now. Bear with a 105.4, Green with a 104.8, GSR with a 105.8, CT Boy 105.9, 106.0, 106.9. And 0.3 back is his teammate Reese VRL in P1. Let's see if it can be an Alpine lockout this time around, or if Billy Ho will upset it yet again. Coming in, out, diving all around pit lane, it would seem. I don't know how long I've been muted for. I apologize, folks. I've been talking this whole time, working the cameras. No idea. Anyways, Papa Green now in provisional pole. Billy Ho in P2 by just half a tenth. SD Buki in third. Reese VRL in fourth. It's Bear in fifth. The Tains in sixth. GSR Rouse in seventh. Manila Man in eighth. CT Boy in ninth. Sauce in 10th. Maverick for Christ in 11th. Grunch Munch in 12th. McSpeed, Apple CM, Dumaine, FCN, Sedate, Setsu, Moza Army, and Ian Mack will round out the 20 drivers. Now in the final stages of the qualifying session. Oh, and there's a big off for Grunch there. Let's see, Reese is back on track. Outlaps for Green, Billy Ho, SD Buki, and Reese up a 10th on his best. So everybody really going for a good qualifying this time around. And this time around, the points are going to mean a little bit more. Reese up 0.4 of a second. Saw him have pole position time before, but he's got to get it right coming through the final couple of corners. That might be track limits there. We'll have to see when he crosses the line. It will be a 104.9. That's only good enough for P3. Now over to Billy Ho. Driver in P2. 104.4 new pole position time. It's the bar a little higher by 0.2, and that'll be Billy Ho. Get a little bargy there. I think that will be, which I think that would be an AI car that he got a little elbows out with, of Detains potentially. And he's got bits of that front wing missing. So Billy O definitely not setting a pole position time, but SD Buki is stealing away P3 and the people's hearts down at turn 1. SD Buki put in a good lap. Now qualifying just about over. Papa Green, Billy Ho into pit lane. Should be it for SD Buki in third. Reese in fourth place. And everybody taking the checkered flag, just waiting for Buki to finish up. And that will conclude the qualifying session, folks. And we'll get the official results posted in just a few moments. Gotta say, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications when we go live, folks. It really helps out the community that we're supporting, the Vortex Racing League. And if I didn't say so already, I'll say it now. Welcome to Sarah Stoddard in the YouTube chat. It will be Papa Green in the pole position by 0.2 of a second in front of Billy Ho. SD Buki in third, Reese VRL in fourth, Manila Man in fifth, Bear in sixth, seventh belongs to Detain, CT Boy in eighth, GSR Ryle Sulse, and then Apple CM Maverick for Christ, Grunch Munch, McSpeed, FCN for Life, It's Dumaine, Sinead, Sedsu, Moza Army, and Ian Mack round out the 20 drivers here tonight. Once the drivers get gridded up, we will let them do a full formation lap here at the ring before we get going, and we'll see who the best driver is on the racetrack here at the ring. Want to give a big shout out and thanks to the Vortex Racing League for putting this all together, putting this on, all of the admin and staff that work hard behind the scenes to make this league possible. Really appreciate them for having us on, as well as the Real High Broadcasting and Sagar Bakshi. We really appreciate it. Well, there's only one of me, so I guess I appreciate it. And my dog is appreciated too. Still waiting for the drivers to get gridded, and then we'll go racing, folks. Stand by, and we'll be right back. And it looks like we're ready to go racing for the formation lap at least. Here are the possible strategies for the drivers: 2-stop and the 3-stop. Couple of drivers selecting to go onto the hard compounds, and a few drivers selecting the softs. We did hear prior to the race that the drivers were really complaining about the soft compound. Now we're ready to go racing here at the conclusion of the formation lap. "36 laps on the books, folks. And it's green, green, green here in Austria for the second time. We'll go racing. And a little further back, it'll be 3-4 wide galore as the Kick Sauber, I think of Crunch Munch, charged his way through the field. Now we'll be 3 wide through turn 2 up the hill in towards turn 4. There's a Red Bull off. There's an Aston Martin off. It's all gone to hell and back, folks. I will admit, and no safety car called though. Papa Green and Billy Ho staying within each other, but here we're still looking at Crunch Munch and his teammate of GSR Riles try to chase down the Red Bull in front of Manila Man. SD Buki falls back into 4th position. There are those strategies again for those on the mediums and the softs to start the race, but we're curious about the drivers on the hard compounds. Will they be taking the softs for a short stint as well? 6:10 separates P1 from P2. SD Buki up the inside line here is going to spin around Reese at Remus. Battle now between Bear and Grunch Munch. Here we have the race strategies again. On the hard or the soft compound tire, there goes Bear around the outside at Worth. Up the hill, is going to make that move stick somehow, some way. Bear is on a rampage. Papa Green puts down new fast lap after new fast lap. Remember in the qualifying session we talked about this man here in 9th place, Maverick for Christ. Look at him go now. Oh no, and there goes off the Williams driver of spare, able to rejoin the racetrack at turn 2. No, he is not, unfortunately. Over to Grunch Munch and Maverick for Christ battle. Over the chase now is Grunch Munch chasing down Manila Man up ahead. GSR Riles in this battle with Maverick for Christ, SD Buki up ahead as well. We have a good healthy DRS train here. It includes nearly 5 cars, all nose to tail. Really, it's 7 cars as we look at the battle between Denades and Manila Man. Manila goes a little too deep and mounts the sausage curves at turn 3. And a run down to Slosh Gold belong to Detain. Here's the halo shot of him down towards turn 4. Over to Maverick for Christ in this 7-car train now, as it extends to include Detains and Manila Man up ahead. There goes SD Buki on Grunch. Able to get that one done pretty easily there. Oh no, who's off now? Billy Ho trying to get by Papa Green. This is Detains and Manila Man. Manila Man's in too deep doing his best 741 impression. And Detains will happily take P3 away. Back over to Manila Man. Good tire scrubbing a little bit on entry to Roush. Has to be a good overtake for Maverick for Christ to get around Grunch. And he's able to do it right before Rent. And that leaves the 2 Kick Sauber boys in 7th and 8th to fend for themselves. Over to the leader. Half a second back will be Billy Ho. There's a move, a lick of the stamp and a send. This is where Billy Ho got done last time. This time, I think Papa Green saw that one coming, pulled out the over-under at Schloss Gold, and collected the pieces right before Roush. One-sixth of the way through this race, folks, and we still got plenty more race action yet to come. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button for us here at the Real High Studios. Again, looking at Maverick for Christ in his little battle here, now switched up between Grunch Munch, Maverick for Christ, and GSR. Maverick is in the Haas sandwich between a couple of Kick Saubers. Now, I want to talk to a couple of drivers. I'm just not sure who I can talk to that's not really in a battle. I don't want to disturb someone. Just so many battles on the racetrack right now. I don't want to get involved in. Sul's unfortunately retiring from the session. Maverick gets around Grunch Munch there. Made that one look like he was standing still almost. And it'll be Maverick for Christ back up into 6th place as positions get inverted. And it will be Buki going toe-to-toe with, that's Detains now. Detains snaps back immediately at the run down towards turn 4. Taines manages to hold off Buki, just for now. Here's the battle for P11 and P12. Reese VRL and CT Boy going after it through Roush and Worth. Over to the kick salver of GSR Riles. And now things have really just quieted down to the point where don't really know what to expect. It's anybody's ball game here in the battle for 3rd and 4th place. It will be Detains and Buki going after it again now. And there goes Buki trying to go the long way around the outside. Detains covers off the attack by defending the inside line. But will be more side-by-side racing, which will result in Manila Man closing down the gap behind. Manila Man only 0.8 away from this duo. That looks like a pit stop call for Buki there, as the cautions are waved in Sector 3. So Manila Man and Buki both come down pit road. Quick change onto the hard compounds for Buki. What about for Manila Man? It will be hard for him, but SD Buki gets a penalty for speeding under caution. What? I don't see when the VSC was called. But apparently during the VSC, that was called. Looks like penalties are given for Maverick for Christ and for SD Buki for the same thing. Pit stop open for the 2-stop strategy. Drivers going on the hard compound. So stop number 1 underway. This is Papa Green's perfect pit stop. And he is back on track. Down in the 4th place, though, McSpeed, Riles, and Detains all have to take their expected pit stops for the evening. Grunch Munch putting in work up into the top 10 now. Resting in 8th position, has Manila Man ahead of him. That's a good place to be in. One-third of the race under our belts officially now. Now the question really lies in, when does Billy Ho come down pit lane and when do they cycle around? Where does Papa Green cycle in? No, so excuse me, Billy Ho already has taken a pit stop then. Let's check this out. There are the drivers that have taken their first pit stop. So Detains and Riles need to stop. Billy Ho and Green both have done so. Reese next. And then Manila Man, Grunch, SD Buki, CT Boy, Maverick for Christ, all the way down to Said Sue. All taking their pit stops right now is Detains. Very good, very quick pit stop from the crew in teal and silver. Here's Maverick for Christ chasing down CT Boy. This is the run in towards 4. Hard, heavy on the brakes. Get it stopped in time. Park it on the apex if you need to. And then run out your opponent if you absolutely are on the brink of it. Reese in the pits now. And that'll be Sinead battling with Reese next. Big lock up there from Sinead in the uphill braking zone. Now Manila Man gets by GSR, who's in the pits now. So that'll be their first stop after 15 laps on those hard compound tires. It's running a little bit longer than that sprint race, which was 12 laps. Probably what they'll expect to do on these mediums now. Potentially mount a pair of softs to finish up the race. Who knows? Here comes GSR Rouse. He's got a healthy gap ahead and a healthy gap behind to secure P6 right now. SD Buki right behind Reese in P7. CT Boy and Maverick for Christ will go after it in just a few moments as well. Now Maverick for Christ loses that position to CT Boy. Let's see if CT Boy can keep it up and stay in front for the points in 9th position. We definitely have and will expect another pit stop because the tire degradation and abrasive surfaces here is somewhat abrasive and it can really stress out your tire. So teams have a balance of pushing hard with managing wear here at the ring. Now, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Bear steals away the fastest lap of the race, a 107.620 on lap 18. I wonder if that changes the perception of anybody else on the racetrack right now, who's also looking for a fast lap point. More importantly, though, this battle here between P1 and P2 has gotten a lot smaller than it was during the pit stop phase. We saw a little bit of a gap and we saw a driver who hadn't pit yet kind of caught in between there. But after everything is said and done, we're 1.5 seconds away. There's the tire graphic there on the right hand side of your screen between Manila Man and Billy Hope. On the Halo Camp with Hope. I love these cameras so much. They're just absolutely beautiful. Now gaps are closing down a little bit, and I'm excited to see that. The Tains and GSR Riles now only half a second separate them with 16 laps left to go. Now, is it officially the second pit stop phase that is open once we get to the 15th lap? Well, the drivers need a little bit more time to sort out the differences. 3/10 back and closing on his teammate though. It's all quiet here, but not for this battle. As things continue to spice up. That's not Detains you're looking at in the Mercedes. That would be Moza Army lapped out. Three wide nearly coming down the back stretch. And that'll be Riles getting by Detains. Crunch Munch losing out there. Sinead gets by Buki as they come in for their second pit stop as well. There's the tire differences between Reese and Detains right now. So if y'all in the YouTube chat can let me know when you think the Austrian time switchover would be, I'd much appreciate it. I was guessing right around now would be the best time, but I was waiting for a better time of day to come down. Detains also through on Reese. There goes Reese down pit lane with just 13 laps to go. He's back out onto the racetrack already. Side by side between McSpeed and Maverick for Christ will conclude with a little bit of touching there into the braking zone. And we might have to take a replay of that one. More pit stop calls. This time it'll be Riles coming down pit road. And more importantly, a 10-second penalty for the race leader, Papa Green, getting slapped on the back of his ribs. Wrists. I'm going to say wrists. 24 of 36. Papa Green needs to hold it down for just a few more laps, and then the checkered flag will be his. Up the hill at Remus. Single file line for now. But Haas is looking big, bad, and menacing. Ready to strike at any given moment. Grunch Munch, unfortunately, DNFing from the event now. I don't think that Green can pull out a 10-second gap to the car behind. It is this Danish flag? On board with Billy Ho. Reese leading this pack of cars. More pit stop calls in effect. It's time with Billy O taking their service. Reese the RL as well. Now, again, things are quiet. Lap 27 of 36. It's just that way with the Red Bull Ring. It is a glorified oval racetrack. Here's Maverick for Christ, one of my fan favorites. Battling with SD Buki up ahead. Let's go on to the hello camp. See what Maverick Christ is doing to chase down Buki. Is it working or is it not? ahead in 8th place, Buki. Surprisingly, this is the closest battle on the racetrack now. Chuck it in towards turn 9. Chuck it in towards turn 10 again. Absolute perfection on this lap. Lap 30 of 36 underway currently. Now, everything is kind of falling together. Big positions gained right now for some drivers. Even bigger losses. Souls down 10, down 5 for Grunch, FCM for Life down 4, down 6 for Bear from where he started this race. But on the inverse, plus 2, 3, and 4 for the Manila Man, Detains, and GSR Reese. And we're back, folks. Sorry for that technical issue. Don't know why, don't know what happened, but the game just decided to close on me. But we're back. Mailman in P3, Detains up 3, Riles up 4. Reese down 2, Buki's down 4. Maverick Christ is up 4 positions. I told you to watch out for that guy. McSpeed up 5, Sinead up 6. Ian Mack up 6 as well. Zumain, Moza Army, and Said Sue all in the green tonight. Final pit stops all having been taken place now. They've made their beds. Now they have to lay in them. With 3 laps left to go, Papa Green has a 10-second penalty. He needs to open up the gap back to Billy Ho. GSR Riles right behind Detains. right where we left them before the pit stop cycle took place. Riles behind the Tains. Cautions in Sector 2 with just those 3 remaining laps. Can't make it 2 remaining laps. As the leader crosses the line, that gap between P1 and P2 is expanding. Was at 5 seconds just a few ago. And I think he knows it's all over. If he doesn't put it together on the final couple of laps, this win will not count towards his record. Now, again, Riles just kind of came out of nowhere tonight to get P4. Did a really fantastic job of it. That's how it's done, using all of the track that you bought and paid for. It's a 9-second gap right now. He needs to pull out another second on Billy Ho to secure the W. I hear the fans cheering for Papa Green right now. Now it will be the conclusion of the race. Papa Green, with that 10-second penalty, will not get the win in front of Billy Ho. Papa Green crosses the line in P1 in front of Billy Ho, but post penalty should put him behind. Oh, Billy Ho, 67 thousandths now is the separator between Papa Green and Billy Ho. Holy smokes. Oh, there's your P1 and P2 Manila Man in third place. And GSR Riles in fourth. The Tains in fifth. Reese in sixth. Maverick, McSpeed, CT, and Sinead will round out your top 10. That will be a win for Papa Green there. He'll enjoy the podium celebrations. Let's go talk to the Alpine driver. Let's see if he's here. Papa Green, are you here? He stepped out. Oh, all righty. Now, let's look at the official results. Papa Green in first, Billy Ho in second, Manila Man in third, GSR in fourth, Detains, Reese, SD Buki, CT Boy, Maverick for Christ, McSpeed round out the top 10. Ian Maxinade, It's Bear, Apple CM will round out the top 14. And we have It's Dumaine, Moza Army, Said Sue, Grunch Munch, FCN for Life, and Sulls, rounding out the 20 drivers that participated tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to be your host. I'm Sagar Bakshi, a.k.a. The Real High, taking you from green to checkered flag. We got to unfortunately call this one early. We'll be back next week for the next event. Take care, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.
Invincible.